Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your December 2017 general readings. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Welcome to any newcomers who are here with us for the first time. Thank you always for your like, share, subscribes, your support, and feedback and comments. They're brilliant. You guys are brilliant. Thank you so very much for that. And always a big thank you to those of you who continue to keep me so busy and occupied and fulfilled with personal one-on-one readings, both my regular clients and my new clients as well. And if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me and you haven't read with me before, or you have and you've forgotten the information, you can go to my YouTube channel's homepage, click on the About button. That'll give you a little bit more information and my contact details. I do a wide variety of readings, love and romance, of course, compatibility charting, divorce, separation, and reconciliation, potentials and charts, career, work, and finance, career path, and investment readings as well, in addition to channeled messages and spiritual channeling. I also offer 6 and 12-month life overviews, which are specific spreads that I do to take a look at what's happening in your life for the next 6 months or the next 12 months in every main area of your life. And I also offer package deals for those clients who like to have regular ongoing readings about what's going on in their life as well. And also gift readings. We are entering the holiday season, and I always get a lot of requests for gift readings for family, friends, loved ones. There's nothing more personal than a personal reading, so there is that option as well. If you're interested in any of these, you can find my contact information by clicking on the About button, and you can also find my contact information attached to the description of every video I post. You can email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to work with you. I do readings full-time, 5 to 6 days a week. It is what I do, so turnaround time is pretty quick. I can always get back with you, almost always get back with you within the same day of your initial contact or within 24 hours of your initial contact with more information. And scheduling a personal reading live or recorded is pretty fast as well, anywhere from a few days upwards of 2 weeks, but almost always within a 2-week period of time we can set something up for you. For quick answers to really quick questions, you can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo, which is an app for your smartphone that pretty much puts me at your fingertips 24/7, except when I'm otherwise occupied or sleeping, of course. And it's, quick questions for quick answers. If you have a decision quick answers for quick questions. If you have a decision you want to make on the fly, something or someone you want to take a quick look at, you want to have just a short little read via text, or they have a new video chat option as well. That's a great way of getting really immediate or really fast responses from me for short, less complex things as well. So you can also find me on the Instantgo app for smartphones under the same name, Irish Gypsy. The link to that, and of course my contact information, again, click on the About button on my YouTube channel's homepage, and you can also look at the description attached to every video that I post as well. So moving right along, make sure to check your rising and your moon sign videos as well, if you know them and if you can, as we always say, because these are general videos. There's so many of you watching, thousands of you watching, all different individual, beautifully individual people with different things going on in your lives. So you may find that your rising and your moon sign may resonate for you a little more predictably than your primary sun sign. And just by watching all three, if you can just give you additional insight and clarity. So try to do that to get as big a picture and as much insight and helpful energy for what's going on in your life for the time frame that the reading covers. So this reading is for the water sign of Pisces for December 2017. Can you believe it's December already? Let's take a look at what our lovely Pisces, our fluid mercurial fish, have in store for the month of December 2017. Pisces. Okay, Pisces. We have the Two of Wands, followed by the Knight of Swords. We have the Two of Swords, followed by the Knight of Wands. Interesting. The two twos are directly next to each other, and the two knights are directly next to each other. We have the Page of Wands with the Nine of Swords, And death or transformation along with strength towards the end of the month. Wow, really powerful combination of major arcana cards and energy at the end of the month. From the bottom of the deck, representing overall energy and guidance, we have the Ten of Cups. Beautiful energy. I'm curious as to what's behind it. The Lovers. I thought so. You know, I think I've said this, and I'm about halfway through doing all the signs for the December general readings, the beginning of the month December general readings. And there seems to be, variations in specifics and details, of course, as there always is, because there's so many of you watching. But there seems to be an kind of an undercurrent theme of decision making. And somewhere out in the world, there's always going to be somebody or groups of people who are going to be trying to make a major decision about something. But it seems to be pretty prevalent for the signs for December. And I see that with Pisces as well. You have 2 twos, which is, a number of duality, crossroads, choices. You have I actually pulled 2 cards from the bottom of the deck for your crowning card. I pulled the Ten of Cups first, but the Lovers is right behind it, which is about making a significant decision that's going to affect a primary relationship, and attached to the Ten of Cups, it could be home and family as well. So it looks like there's a sense of being at a crossroads, needing to choose a path, make a decision, deal with something. And it looks like there's some major changes going on at the end of December too. December can be quite a busy month as it is. We're entering the holiday season. So there may be lovely opportunities for get-togethers and parties as well. So your crowning cards, I'm actually going to start with those. We have the Ten of Cups, which is beautiful energy. Tens represent in the tarot, the end of cycles, something coming to an end or coming to a completion, culmination, achievement phase where maybe a certain chapter closes and something new begins, or you're coming to a point where something culminates, or you come to an end of something in your life in a way where you're looking at what's coming up next. Cups is water energy. That's the element which governs the suit of cups. And in the tarot, this is the energy of emotions, feelings, relationships. This is beautiful energy. It's often referred to as the happily ever after card, the happy home card. It represents pretty much a complete sense of emotional fulfillment, contentment, happiness. This is also a card that relates strongly to marriage, children, childbirth, home, family harmony, family unity, or just being at that place in your life where you feel like everything has kind of come together. Beautiful, beautiful energy. I was curious, so because of the cards in the main spread, so I looked at what was behind the Ten of Cups, and we have the Lovers, which is a major arcana card, and it's about, it can be about a soulmate union, a very passionate, connected soulmate union. It's about making a decision. Typically, it's about making a very important, significant decision, because it's major arcana. That's either about a primary relationship in your life, or will significantly affect that. And it could be you and your partner making this decision together as well. As I always say in general readings, because there's so many of you watching, it may resonate in different areas of your life to different degrees and intensities. The specifics and details are going to vary because you guys are not all the same, but the energy fundamentally remains the same. It looks like over the month of December, I am recording these in the last week of November, so ongoing situations as well. Looks like there's some important decision-making energy, kind of thinking about that, having that turnaround inside of you over the month of December. And it could be decisions about a primary relationship, which affects that relationship in your home and family. Some of you may be in relationship energy, if it's like your partner in terms of husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, even, it could be on one side of the spectrum, making a decision as to, you could be in a partnership together and making a decision about home and family. I think somebody out there there's something going on with your child. I'm getting that first and foremost. Some of you may be making a decision to buy a home, to sell a home. It's going to affect your home and family. Some of you may be making a decision to get engaged, move in together, get married. Some of you may be in a difficult or challenging position of trying to figure out if you maybe want to continue the relationship or a marriage that you're in currently. Like with a lot of the signs so far, you can translate this energy into work and career or the spirituality section of your life, but I'm feeling there's much more of an energy here of relationships, close personal relationships, marriage, home and family as well, and children, because There's a message in here for somebody about their child, or it could be about their children, but about their child. So there's this energy going on over the month of December of looking at, needing to address a situation, needing to make a decision or choose a path that's going to have I feel, a very significant impact on home and family, and perhaps your primary relationship as well, or primary partnership. We have at the beginning of the month, end of November, beginning of December, I always say time is somewhat fluid. It's going to maybe reflect different time for different people. We have the Two of Wands and the Knight of Swords. You have a lot of swords, and you have actually, other than that Ten of Cups as your crowning card, in the main spread you have, it's all air and fire energy, and then a couple of major arcana cards. So in the tarot, the Suit of Wands is governed by the element of fire, and this is fiery energy. It's creative energy, manifesting energy, building energy, passion, excitement, enthusiasm, creativity. You also have swords energy here, which is air. That's the element which governs the suit. And in the tarot, the energy of that suit reflects it's air energy. It's in a mental, cerebral, intellectual way. It's about how we think, how we look at things, our perspectives, our perceptions, our outlooks, our belief systems, and how all of that affects the way that we relate and communicate to the world and to people in the world. It's about words and ideas, higher education, learning, truth, insight, everything that goes up in our head. So air and fire energy. It looks, again, like a thinking month. So the Two of Wands and the Knight of Swords is what we begin with. The Two of Wands is a card about being at a crossroads, as this man obviously is, needing to make a decision, needing to choose a path, and being pretty early on in the path. We're only at the two here, tens being kind of that completion, culmination energy. So we're at the two here, at a crossroads, needing to make a decision, needing to choose a path. The key and the advice which usually accompanies the Two of Wands is it makes the path easier to the path that you want to take, the path that you need to take, easier to see, easier to choose, if you know what your destination is. This is about long-term thinking, long-term planning, long-term goals. I mean, it's kind of difficult to plan a trip if you don't really know what your destination or your points of destination are. How are you going to know what paths to take to get there? There is something to be said for wandering, but this is about needing to look ahead, to think long-term, to plan long-term, to figure out what you want in whatever area of your life this is manifesting in. It's something to do with home, family. Some of you, it's children as well. So it's about needing to kind of maybe spending some time looking at what your long-term goals are. And if you don't have any, trying to, looking at figuring out what your long-term goals are so you can know which path to choose to start moving yourself towards those long-term goals. Now, the Two of Wands is accompanied by the Knight of Swords. So we have that mental, cerebral, intellectual air energy here. Knights are the bringers, the deliverers of the tarot. They often represent something being brought to you, or vice versa. They can also represent the speed at which a situation moves, typically fast-moving situations, because knights are known for being rather spontaneous and impulsive and kind of charging ahead. Offers or opportunities coming in, or you extending them forth, because they are the deliverers. They're meant to go out on missions and quests, knights are, and bring back results. The Knight of Swords, in terms of what he would be bringing information, news, ideas, perhaps. The Knight of Swords, the court cards of the Suit of Swords can sometimes come across as people. This could also represent the person that you might be communicating with, or might be bringing you this news or information. Sometimes the court cards of the Suit of Swords can come across as a bit cold or harsh or emotionally detached. They don't necessarily mean to be, but because of the energy of swords, that air energy, they tend to, if they're going to deliver a message, it's like short, short, sweet, right to the point, not really sweet. It's not candy coated or sugar coated. This is the truth as you see it, as they see it. They may not necessarily think about the presentation. They just want to get the message out or the information out. Sometimes the Knight of Swords is looked at as the inconvenient truth card, or delivering a truth or reality that is what it is, but can sometimes be a little difficult or challenging. So paired with the Two of Wands, And you have two knights together and two twos together. You have the Two of Wands and the Knight of Swords, the Two of Swords and the Knight of Wands. There's a sense of being at a crossroads and needing to make a decision, needing to make a choice with something. I usually go through them one by one with the cards that are clarifying them, but this is kind of interesting. These two twos together, needing to choose a path, needing to at least start. It's about long-term thinking, long-term planning. What do you want in whatever area of your life this is resonating for you in? How do you start? Which path do you choose? What decision you make? What's going to help you is thinking ahead. What is your, if this is about your primary relationship or your marriage or your home, even if it's your home life or the property itself, or about a child, what do you want long term? What's your eventual long term goal that you're headed for? Because that's going to help choose a path, because it looks like you feel stuck, Pisces. The Two of Wands is right next to the Two of Swords, which is about, again, it's a two, it's crossroads, dualities, but feeling stuck, not knowing which decision to make. And it can also represent, because of the blindfold, it can also represent that there's a reluctance or a resistance to actually facing something. Something needs to be dealt with. There's some kind of action or choice that needs to be taken, but there's a sense of reluctance and resistance in making the choice, or even looking at it and dealing with it head on. Because of this Two of Wands and Knight of Swords energy. For some of you, it may be that something has come up recently. There could be some news or information or some truth or reality that's just hit you about your primary relationship or marriage. It could be about your home or family life. It could be about the property itself. I'm feeling for at least somebody out there who's watching this, who's going to needs to hear this. We have this Page of Wands, and I'm feeling this as a young person or a child or a young person. It could be that maybe you've had some news or information or the truth or reality of something challenging around your child or children has kind of made itself apparent to you, and because of that you need to take a look at long term, maybe what's best for the child long term. Some of you, it may be even the choice of having a child or not. Maybe one of you in the relationship wants to have children and you don't, or you're trying to figure out whether you do or not. Some of you, it may be even a pregnancy. Maybe you're pregnant and you're not really sure if you if you want to follow through with this or not, or keep the child or not. It could be a variety of different things. I am feeling that somebody is dealing with something challenging in terms of their child, because some information coming up. It could be that your child is facing maybe some challenges or disabilities or something of that sort, and so you're having to take a different look at long-term goals for them, school, setting, where they live, things like that. There's a sense of maybe at the end of November, the first half of December, needing to kind of figure this out and set a course, but it's difficult. There may be times where you don't, there's some aspect of it maybe that you don't want to deal with or look at because it means you're going to have to make a decision. You're kind of trying to put that off, maybe procrastinating a bit. It's also the holiday season, which can be busy and stressful in and of itself for a lot of people too. So it could be that you're trying to kind of shove that while you're dealing with like the normal holiday stuff as well. There is a sense of this being of either a fast moving situation or feeling like pressured to do something about it right away, and you kind of feel like a lot of you are kind of bucking that or resisting that. We do have these two knights together. And knights can represent the speed at which a situation moves, and in that case they usually represent fast moving situations, or having something come up which has a very short window of opportunity in which you can act, or feeling pressured to make a decision or set a course of action, set something into motion. Sorry, my lighting just got kind of weird right away. And there's a sense again of resistance against that. Whatever decision it is that you need to make, or a course of action because of some news or information that's come to light, or truth or reality that's hit you, there's a challenge in actually doing it, and maybe feeling stuck in doing it and feeling pressured like I've got to do this. Some of you, I'm also getting again something to do with children. I'm getting messages for somebody who's had something come up, some information or news new come up about their child that their child is facing. I feel like somebody's got a young child that maybe as a result of testing or something that's come out, they may have some disability issues, maybe some mental health issues or learning disabilities or something. It could be some physical challenges as well. And there's a sense of it's difficult to deal with, challenging to deal with, and of course this time of year, it can be just difficult to deal with as well, in addition to everything else. There's somebody else out there, I'm getting this is also in relation to your child, although it's an older child, maybe even a teenager or young adult. They're wanting to start out on something that could be a new job or a new career path. They're really excited about it, I'm getting. It may be a creative or artistic path, and you're just really worried about them. You're thinking maybe they're not thinking all that realistically or practically, and you're worried about them. It could be that some of you have young adult children that are maybe moving out from home or getting ready to start something new, whether it's college or a new job or work career, even a relationship. For some reason, there's a lot of stress and anxiety. You're worried about them. I am getting a few different stories for some of you who are parents who are dealing with different issues around your child, and it's producing a lot of stress, anxiety, and worry. You're thinking a lot about this. There is that, because we have the Nine of Swords here along with that Page of Wands. Pages can also represent messengers, so some of you, again, there's this sense of news, message, information coming in. The energy, something popped up on my screen. The energy, as I always say, I'm sorry, something weird keeps popping up on my screen. The specifics and details of how this plays out in your life is going to be different because there's so many of you watching, but the energy remains the same. It's something to do with home, family, children, primary relationship that affects home and family, your base kind of foundation. Regardless of the specifics of how that plays out. There's a decision that needs to be made, a path that needs to be chosen. There's maybe some news information that's come to light that it's difficult to deal with, and you may not want to deal with. You may be procrastinating a little bit on it or shelving it a bit, particularly during the holiday season because there's other things going on. Although there's this inner sense of pressure about needing to do something about it, having it constantly turn over in the back of your mind, which is echoed with the Page of Wands and the Nine of Swords together. I feel like for some of you, this is parental, this is your child, whether it's a young child or an older child. Some of you, it's just news and messages that's come in. There is some energy too about moving forward, that there is some maybe exciting new opportunities, maybe an exciting new beginning. Some of you, it could be you and your partner are making a decision about something to do with your home and family, and there's an opportunity which you're considering taking or you've decided to take, and it feels exciting, but you're also really stressed out about it, worried and scared at the same time. Again, sometimes I get like 10 different stories about how this relates to people. This is just one of them. There is stress and anxiety, but too much with the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords, it comes up, it's somewhat illusionary energy, meaning that whatever the source of the stress, the worry, the extreme anxiety or fear that you might be experiencing, while the source of it may be valid, the Nine of Swords comes up when it's too much. You're overthinking it too much, you're stressing about it too much, you're over-focusing on the negative, there's too much obsessive energy. This card often comes up when you're worried about the future and you're imagining what could go wrong, what could happen, what might not happen, all of these other things, when in fact, this is about inner psychological stresses and worries which don't necessarily reflect the reality of the actual situation itself. So really be vigilant about that. I don't like seeing that Nine of Swords come up because it's about worrying and stressing over things often that haven't happened yet, which means we have no control over them. Again, regardless of what area of your life this is manifesting in or who or what it's about, really kind of, forewarned is forearmed. That's one of the reasons why we do these readings. So knowing that ahead of time over the month of December, if you find yourself kind of falling into that, I can't sleep, I'm staying up late at night, I'm overthinking it, I'm focusing on it, I'm worried about what could go wrong, what might happen that could be wrong, what might not happen that I want to happen that could go wrong, all of this stuff. Really try hard to pull back from that and lessen this energy or even negate or reverse it altogether. There's some beautiful, powerful changes happening at the end of December, Pisces. We have two major arcana cards together around or at sort of the end of the year, basically end of December. We have death and strength, a powerful combination of major arcana cards. Death, transformation. I always like to follow it up with that word transformation, because sometimes the word death and the fact it's got kind of the Grim Reaper sort of look on it makes some people clench up. No, death. Not talking physical death here. Death, transformation. This is about the complete and total ending of something. In order for something, to plant a new crop, you've got to completely clear out the old one. This is about a major ending in your life. Death is similar to the Tower card. They both represent life-changing events, things that significantly, that come in often rather unexpectedly or outside of your control, and that affect these major changes, endings in our life, which always have to occur before new beginnings can start. Birth follows death, beginnings follow endings. That's the way it is. So, but these endings can occur. The Tower card is more about life-changing events that really shake us down to our core. They can even involve the things that we look at or our belief systems. Death, any kind of major endings always have an emotional and intellectual impact on us too. But I have found that when the death transformation card comes up, it's more about external changes which affects us as well. So it's about the ending of something significant in your life, whether it's a relationship or how a relationship morphs and changes. It could be about, going from being single to being engaged, from being engaged to being married, and actually living together and moving into a house together. It could be having a family, starting a family, or making the decision not to. It could be a child leaving the nest or branching out for the first time. It could be because of news or information coming in. I mean, there's a lot of different variations on this story, but at the end of the month, there's an ending that comes about, or one that you accept that something is coming to an end and something new is beginning. There's going to be transformation. In order for that to happen, you've got to clear out the old so that something new can be rebuilt, replanted in its place, and begin to move forward in a new and different way. And it's paired with strength, which is about facing your fears, your doubts, your insecurities, wrestling with your demons, moving through them, making changes where you are able to make changes, and embracing and accepting the rest of it and moving through all of it. And the strength and wisdom and insight that you get from going through this kind of process, that's the kind of strength we're talking about here. She has tamed this wild beast, which is symbolic again for fears, doubts, insecurities, maybe bad habits or patterns, or embracing a truth, a reality that you previously were not able to, and actually moving into it, moving through it, and getting to the other side of it. Strength, wisdom, insight, and clarity. There is changes. You are going through a transitional phase, Pisces. It may at times feel difficult, challenging. You may not want to do it, but it's coming and it's beautiful. What's going to happen is it's a change. It's a transitional process. It's kind of a death and rebirth process, which sometimes comes with its own sense of discomfort, fear, anxiety. What I'm getting, regardless of what area this is manifesting in your life, whether it's just your home, your house, your family, kids, because I'm getting a variety of different things, maybe moving into a new phase or a new project or a new career path. However it's manifesting in your life, the fundamental energy and advice I'm getting, particularly at the end of the month, Spirit is saying it's going to be a beautiful new rebirth, transformation, moving into a new arena. Face it. Doesn't mean you face it without fear. Fear is just part of it. It's just part of it. But it's about looking it right in the face, putting one foot in front of the other, moving into it, moving through it, and beyond it. And the strength and wisdom and insight you're going to get, and plus the joy of this transformation and rebirth process as you're moving ahead. Again, I've gotten so many different stories to whom this relates to and how in my head. I'm really curious to see the feedback on how this actually plays out in your life, because it looks major, it looks intense, it looks powerful and transformative, again, which sometimes also means discomfort, maybe some fear and anxiety. But Spirit is saying embrace it, move through it. It'll lessen and help ease a lot of this fear and anxiety. Don't resist it, move through it and embrace it. It's going to be beautiful. And what a perfect time of year for this to happen towards the end of the year, as we're going to be going into a new year in a month's time as well. Beautiful, beautiful reading, Pisces. Very happy to bring it to you. My lovely fluid Pisces, who sometimes sometimes find these really intense, in your face situations difficult to deal with, you're going to do just fine. You're going to be beautiful. Pisces. Love you guys. Anyway, thank you so very much for watching that. It pretty much wraps up your December 2017 general readings. I'll be back in a couple of weeks for the December 2017 mid-month readings. Again, if any of you are interested in a more personal, tailored just for you one-on-one reading with me, you can go to my YouTube channel's homepage, click on the About button for more information and my contact details. You can also find my contact details attached to the description of every video I post. Feel free to email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be most happy to work with you. We'll set something up for you just as quickly as possible. I do a wide variety of readings, and don't forget about those gift readings during this time of the year as Christmas gifts, or any other time of the year, really, birthdays and anniversaries too. But I always get a lot of requests for for readings as gifts for people around Christmas time. And for those quick answers to quick questions, for the short little fast reads, if you want to take a quick look at something or need to make a decision, really fast, you can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo, and the contact information for that is under the same place as my email, on the description for the videos and under the About button as well. So thanks for watching, Pisces. I hope that you have found it helpful, that it gave you a little bit of insight or validated things for you. Give you some food for thought. I will see you all again soon. And until then, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. And I hope to see you back here again soon. Take care, Pisces. Bye-bye.